All right, everybody. So we're actually going to start today lying down on our mats. So if you want to go ahead and lie down on your mats, have your knees bent and your feet flat on the floor. And just take a moment here to find your breath. Close your eyes. And notice as soon as you close your eyes, you internalize a little bit more, and the external stimulus around you diminishes a little bit. And this is what we want to do. We want to focus in on ourselves. So feel your feet flat on the mat. Maybe give your toes a little wiggle. Feel your sacrum, so the lower part of your spine, the base of your spine pressing into the mat. Feel your mid to upper back also pressing into the mat. Relax your arms. Have your hands by your sides, face up. Wiggle your fingers a little bit. And then feel the weight of your head pressing into the mat as well. So notice all the connection points that we have to the mat. And if you've been to my class before for yoga, a lot of times I do talk about sort of noticing where we're connecting with the mat. And I'm going to talk about that a little bit more today as we go through class. We'll talk about our root chakra and grounding. So as you breathe in, make it a deep breath where your belly balloons out. So your chest rises, your lungs expand, your whole torso expands when you inhale. That's how deep it is. And then just exhale everything out to soften the whole torso area. I'll keep feeling that connection with your various body parts to the mat. And notice that this lying down here, we're going to get into bridge pose in a second, is very grounding because we do have a lot of these connection points. If you happen to have blocks nearby, props today, we're going to use blocks and maybe a blanket, a rolled up blanket towards the end of class. If you have your block, place it between your knees and your sort of your inner thighs. We're going to squeeze the block a little bit. And on our next breath in, just lift the hips up off the mat while you squeeze the block. Just squeezing the glutes. And then as you exhale, roll back down onto the mat. So again, just feel the low back. The low back is off the mat, but the sacrum touches down. Inhale and lift. And then exhale, roll it back down. Do it again. Inhale and squeeze. Squeeze so that we don't have too much of an arch in the low back. And then lower it back down. Again, keep feet flat on the floor. Notice if you're rolling out onto the outer edges of your feet or maybe curling your toes up or doing something with your feet. Just keep them flat. Do a couple more of these. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, come back down. Eyes can be closed. Inhale, lift. And exhale, come back down. And we're going to do this one more time, but keep the hips lifted. So inhale, lift. So we are up on our upper back and our shoulders, but there's no pressure in the neck. Root the feet into the mat and lift your hips a little higher. Squeeze the block a little more. Squeeze your glutes. Breathe. Take about 2 or 3 breaths here. Really warming up through the glutes and the inner thighs. These are our stabilizers when we do a lot of our standing poses. It's good to warm them up. And one more breath in. On the exhale, roll it back down to the mat. Take your feet off the mat. Bring your knees into your chest, and you can take that block away. Just put it to the side. Knees to chest. Press the low back into the mat. Maybe roll around a little bit. Massage it into the mat. And then just stay centered. Place fingertips behind the ears. Lift head and shoulders up. Ab bicycle. Aim opposite shoulder to knee. And it's kind of like a backwards bicycle, like you're cycling backwards. So the lower you can get that extended leg to the ground, the more you're going to work your abdominals, work your core. And we're going to spend the next minute or 2 minutes or so warming up the core. So again, it's aiming opposite shoulder towards the knee, not really the elbow. The elbow's wide. Keep going a bit slow here. We tend to speed up. Slower is a bit better right now. And of course, we're exhaling when we exert. So when we aim that shoulder to the knee, that's when we exhale. When we're changing sides, that's when we inhale. Power yoga is all about the breath and the poses. So keep going. Notice if you're feeling warm. Good. Do a couple more each side. So it's kind of like you aim the shoulder to the knee and you kind of pause there for a moment and then switch sides. Breathe. One more each side. Shoulders are off the mat. Nice. All right. Let's come back to center. You can bring knees to chest. Right. And let's take our hands and place them palms down, just under our hips. You're kind of framing your sacrum there with your fingers and your thumb. Take the legs straight up in the air. Still warming up the core. Start to lower the legs down to about halfway. See what's happening to the low back here. Low back should be neutral. And see if you can go down a little bit lower. If you can lower all the way down to the ground without arching the back too much, go ahead. And then just bring them back up to perpendicular. Do that again. So go down just to really feel the core muscles engaging. Bring it back up. Couple more. Down we go. Can you feel your inner thighs here? 2, maybe. Come on, back up. And one last time. Good. All right, can we take those legs down, but hold it down there? So whichever angle feels good for you. You might be on a 45-degree angle. You might be down a bit lower. You might be legs almost parallel. Hold it for 3 breaths. 2 more, intensity here. Good, 1 more breath in. Exhale, knees to chest, recover. Knees to chest. Press low back into the mat, rock it side to side. Let's come into happy baby as well here. Grab a hold of your big toes. Knees go really wide. And again, massage the low back into the mat. Nice. All right, release out of that happy baby pose. Let's come on up to upright and turn it around to hands and knees. So coming over to hands and knees, we'll do our alternating cat-cow breath just to warm up the spine. And I'm just going to roll up my blanket here, which I had lying down on the mat. So hands right below shoulders, knees right below hips. Just take a breath in, arch your back, lift your chest, look forward. You might feel a little stretch in the abdominals, probably feels good. Exhale into your cat stretch. So really move through your spine here. Inhale, arch. Draw your shoulder blades together a little bit, lift your chest. And then as you come into cat stretch, start with the tailbone, curl it up through your spine, right into the neck. And then inhale again. And exhale. Nice. Inhale. Do this a few more times. Giving your back a stretch. Now keep your palms connected to the mat. Spread your fingers wide. Notice your connection points. So when we have balanced Muladhara or root chakra, we feel very balanced and grounded. And so many of our yoga practices help us feel that way, which is one of the reasons why yoga is so good for us. Do 1 more. And exhale, cat stretch. Right, let's come back to center. Just have a sit back in child. And then on your next inhale, come into a kneeling plank. Exhale back to child's. Keep the palms firmly connected to the mat. Come on back into that kneeling plank and back to child's. Make this movement big and make it flow. Exhale, child. Adjust your hands if you need to, because when we come into plank, we want to have the shoulders right on top of the fingertips. Come on back into plank. And exhale. All right, adding in a little chaturanga here now. So inhale to that kneeling plank. Stay right here. Bend your elbows to 90 degrees, hover, and then push it back up and back to child's. And do that again. So inhale to plank. Exhale, lower down. We're going to inhale to push it back up and exhale to child's. Again, let's go. Inhale. You can do a full plank here if you like. Nice. One more time. Breath in. Halfway, hover, then push back up and back to child's. Nice. Stay in child's pose, rock the hips right, left. Keep the connection to the mat with the hands. Feel a stretch along the sides of the body. All right, let's come up into plank again. I'm going to do a full plank this time. Every time we do plank, though, you can choose knees or toes. Let's hold it strong for a breath or two here. Right, take a breath in. And on the exhale, lower yourself all the way down to the mat. So be on your tummy. And then just inhale, lift your chest, look forward, like we just did in cow pose. This is called cobra. And then back off on the cobra. Push yourself back up to plank and right into downward facing dog. Nice. Adjust yourself on the mat if you need to. So my feet were actually off my mat. So I'm just going to walk forward a little bit. So start to push the heels towards the mat. Let your chest sink down. All right. Next breath in, move into that plank again. Move into plank. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale, cobra. And exhale, push it back up to plank or hands and knees, and then right into downward facing dog. Push heels towards the mat. Breathe. One more time, let's inhale to plank. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale, cobra, or if you want to extend it into upward facing dog, go ahead. And then exhale, find your way back to down dog. Nice. Right. Just practice one more thing. Let's take the left leg up behind us for a three-legged dog. So we're going to move between a three-legged plank and a three-legged dog now. So as we take a breath in, start to bring your left leg down. Keep it off the mat. Come into the three-legged plank. And then just exhale it back to three-legged dog. We'll do that a couple more times. Inhale, shoulders on top of fingertips. Exhale, pike it back. Breathe. One more time. Good. And pike it back. Beautiful. Let's do this on the other side. Right leg lift. Feel a nice opening in the pelvis. All right. When you're ready, 3 times, take a breath in. Come into this three-legged plank. And then back to three-legged dog. Exhale. Inhale. Nice. Take a big step through with that right foot. Let's find our forward fold now. Forward fold. Root your feet into the mat. Bend your knees. This is where we can have our blocks right here if we want to. If it's just more comfortable to use the block instead of reaching right down to the mat. Take a breath in, come all the way up, circle the arms up. And then as we exhale, come into chair pose. Do that again. Inhale, palms up, big circle with the arms, and then exhale, chair. Feels so good to breathe. get a flow going here. Connect your breath with the movement. Go slow. Notice if you're rushing. So if we have too much of our Muladhara, our root chakra energy flowing, we might be a little too aggressive with ourselves. So we can notice that in ourselves. See if it's easy for you to just slow down a bit. All right, take one more breath in. This time on the exhale, let's come into forward fold. So bend the knees and come back to your forward fold. Hang out here just for a breath or two. All right, inhale, do a half lift where we make our back go parallel to the ground and we straighten our knees. And then as we exhale, soften back to forward fold. Let's step back to downward facing dog. And do a little flow here. Take a breath in to plank, knees or toes. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale to cobra or up dog. And then find your way back to down dog. Good, lift the right leg nice and high for this three-legged dog. One time, come into three-legged plank. So we inhale, exhale it back to three-legged dog. Good, step the right leg right through. And then step the back leg forward as well. Find your forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale to chair pose. Let's go again. Inhale. Exhale to forward fold. Dive forward, bend the knees as much as you need to. And then take a breath in, come up to halfway, this half lift. And then exhale, soften to forward fold. Inhale, step left foot back. Exhale the right foot back to downward facing dog. Good, take a breath in, move into plank. Exhale down to the mat. And then we're gonna inhale to cobra or up dog. And then find your way back to down dog on that exhale. Left leg lifting, three-legged dog. And then breath in, come into that three-legged plank. Strong core. Exhale it back to three-legged dog. Nice, take that left leg down, take a big giant step right through. If you need to take a couple steps, that's okay. Step the back foot forward, find your forward fold, and inhale, come all the way up. And then just exhale to chair pose. Let's go again, inhale. Exhale, dive it forward, bend the knees, forward fold. Inhale to half lift. And exhale, hands on the mat. Step the right foot back, then the left foot back, downward facing dog. Check in with the hands, make sure you feel them connecting to the mat. Breath into plank. Lower down to the mat. Inhale to cobra or up dog, really driving that belly button into your spine if you're an up dog. And then downward facing dog. Please raise the right leg up behind us. Coming into three-legged plank. 3 times this time through. 1, exhale it back. Inhale. Back we go one more time. Good. Let's take that right leg down now, step it right through. We're gonna stay in a lunge here. So stay in a high lunge, drag your left heel to the back of the room. Take a breath in, come all the way up. Balance. Take a couple breaths here, relax your shoulders even though the arms are up. Push the hips forward, the left hip anyway. Draw the right hip back. Good, one more breath in. And on the exhale, bring your arms halfway, turn to the right. This is a twist. Breathe. So it's our right leg that's forward, and we're turning our body to the right in a twist. Good, turn your palms up, take a breath in. Come on back to center. Exhale, bring the hands down and step your back foot forward. So we're back to fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And then just exhale to chair pose. So let's do that again. Inhale, palms up, take up lots of space, lift your heart, and then exhale to forward fold. Come all the way down. Just take a breath in, come into a half lift, and then exhale, soften back to forward fold. Step it back to down dog. Next breath in, move into plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, downward dog. Keep right foot on the mat. Lift your left leg nice and high. And 3 times we flow between our 3-legged plank and our 3-legged dog. That was number 1. Inhale. Feel strong when you come into that plank. And then open when you come into 3-legged dog. Last time. Bring the left leg down. Step it right through if you need to. Hands and knees first. Then get into your high lunge. Get rooted and grounded through the feet. And when you're ready, we take that breath in. Sink the hips down. Bend your left knee, your front knee lots. Drive the right heel to the back of the room. Soften the hands. Good. One more breath in. And on the exhale, let's turn to the left. See if we can come into a twist. So we're really just twisting from the belly button up. The hips and the legs are staying in the exact same position. Good. Turn your palms up. Let's take a breath in. Come on back to center. Exhale. Bring your hands down. Frame the foot and step your back foot forward. So we're back to forward fold. Take a breath in. Come all the way up. And then exhale to chair. All right. One more time through. Same pattern. Inhale. Exhale to forward fold. And take an inhale, come to half lift. Straighten your knees. And then exhale, soften it back to forward fold. Stepping back to down dog. Breath into plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale it back to down dog. Breathe. Right leg goes high. All right, let's come into our 3-legged plank just once. Exhale it back to 3-legged dog. Good. Take the right leg, come all the way down and through, and find that high lunge again. Get balanced. Good. One more breath in. Exhale, turn to the right. Do that twist again. So we're looking to the right. We're twisting from the belly button up. Breathe. Nice. Release the hands down. Come back to the front. Here's where we can use our blocks if we have them still by the front of our feet. Let's step the back foot in a little bit and get into pyramid pose. So for pyramid, we are straightening the front leg. Pull that right hip back in space. See if you can lay your belly and your chest down on your thigh. If you can reach the mat with your hands, go ahead and do that. If you want the blocks there, that's fine too. The key with pyramid is straightening that front knee and pulling the right hip back in space to keep the hips square to the front. Breathe lots. Nice. Soften that front knee. Step the back foot forward. We're back to our forward fold. Root the feet into the mat and take a breath in all the way up. Reach and then exhale into a deep chair squat. Last time, we inhale. Exhale down to forward fold. Take it easy. Inhale to flat back. It's a half lift. And then exhale back to your fold. Step back to down dog. Downward facing dog. Next breath in, we move into plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Then exhale, downward dog. Breathe. Keep your right foot on the mat. Lift your left leg high. One time, let's come into our 3-legged plank. Do that when you're ready. Exhale it back to 3-legged dog. Nice. Bring the left leg down, step it right through. Find that high lunge. That high lunge. Inhale the arms all the way up. And remember, your feet do not have to be on a balance beam. They can be on railroad tracks, if that makes sense. That's to help you keep your balance. Let's bend that front knee nice and deep. Drive the right heel to the back of the room. Good. One more breath in. Exhale. Do a twist to the left. Bring your arms halfway. Breathe. Yeah, let's release the arms. Come back to the front. You can lean over, grab those blocks, or put your hands on the mat. Walk your back foot in a little bit. Start to now straighten your front leg, your left knee. Pull the left hip back in space. So we have a shorter stance than a full lunge. Notice my stance is only about 2-3 feet. Start to lay the chest down on your chest and belly down on your thigh. Think of nose to knee. Breathe. Nice deep stretch to the hamstrings. Lengthen the left leg. That's what we're thinking about. All right. Let's soften the front knee, the left knee, and find your forward fold. We're going to stay in our forward fold for a little bit here. Let's take our hands off the mat. So bend your elbows and grab a hold of opposite elbows. You're going to make a little swing with your arms. And let's just try to do a really easy, peaceful forward fold here where we move around a little bit to kind of make your arms swing. You can release your neck and your head as well. So think about the crown of the head pointing towards the mat, trying not to look up or towards the screen or whatever, to really give your back a break. All right, release your arms. You can put your hands on the blocks or on the mat. So from forward fold here, I actually am going to use my blocks. So let's take the left foot. We're going to bend the knee and come up on the ball of the foot, but the right leg is going to stay straight. Okay, so you're kind of up on the ball of your left foot. And from here, let's take our right hand in our back pocket. And we're going to do again a little twist here. So start to rotate to the right. Open the right chest area. So draw the shoulder blade in towards the spine to open through the chest. See if you can look up towards the ceiling. Breathe. If you like, extend that right arm up instead of having it in the back pocket. Try which arm option. Try each one, see which what works best for you. I'm going to keep my hand in my pretend back pocket here. All right, so let's release. Let's come back to forward fold. And we're going to step that left foot back now. So get into your low lunge. Lay the back leg, the left leg down on the mat. And let the hips sink down and forward. Sometimes I like to move a couple of times back and forth just to explore the space there in my left hip flexor. Sometimes too, moving the hips right, left kind of helps create a bit of space. So try that. Move the hips 1 centimeter left, 1 centimeter right. And then feel firm and grounded in your feet and your legs. We're going to take the hands off the mat again. So inhale the arms up. And as you exhale, come into that twist again. So just twist right. Nice. Release the hands down. Let's come into our lizard lunge. So with this right foot, the one that's forward, just heel toe the foot to the edge of the mat so that we can have both hands on the inside of the leg. Okay, and here's again where we might want to use our blocks. See if we can come down onto our elbows. Onto our elbows. Let the right knee go out to the side And you're kind of coming over onto the right, the edge of the outer edge of the right foot. So just to make some space. Breathe. Weight in your elbows. Take a few more breaths here, just to give your body time to really release. Notice if you're pushing it, if you're competing with yourself and trying to go deeper. Let's try to back off a little bit. The 80-20 rule applies here. All right, let's flatten out the right foot. Come up onto your hands. Bring your right foot back to center so you can kind of heel toe it back. And then just place your hands by your sides. We're going to actually shift the hips back. Start to straighten the front leg. So try to, again, pull that right hip back in space. And then just come into that lunge again. And then find that hamstring stretch where we're straightening the right leg as much as possible, maybe flexing the right toes up. All right, and let's bend again. And we're gonna actually start to heel toe this front foot towards the front of the mat. So we're gonna try to straighten this front knee. So maybe just kind of inch your toes. And we're gonna put lots of weight in our hands or our fists. Let's see if we can come into our monkey pose, AKA the splits. Yes, I know. Don't worry about what we look like here. Let's just work on a nice deep stretch through the hips and the inner thighs and the legs. Lots of weight in your hands. I'm using fists right now. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's a bit easier on your wrists, but let the body weight go down towards the mat. We'll stay here for another breath or two or three and see if you feel grounded here or not. Again, tying back to our root. And the element that's associated with our Muladhara is earth. The earth element, grounding, has to do with our physical needs, our survival. If you are familiar with that Maslow's hierarchy of human needs, it's the one right on the bottom, sort of. You can relate it to that. All right, let's put some weight in our hands and let's come out of this. So just slide that front foot, scrunch it up. Sorry, the mat might be scrunching up. And come into hands and knees. From here, lift into downward facing dog. Release. Let's do a little flow here. So we're going to inhale to plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. And you can now step or jump the feet forward to the spot between your hands. And we're going to come up on the ball of our right foot, bend the right knee. Keep the left leg nice and straight. Place the left hand in your back pocket. And then initiate a twist to the left. Use the block if you like. And see which hand position you want. You can keep it in the back pocket, or remember, you can extend the arm up if that feels better for you. Breathe. One or two more breaths here. Good, and let's bring that hand back down. So both hands down on the mat. Soften that left knee. And let's step the right leg back. Find that low lunge. Low lunge. And just take a couple of times where we move the hips forward and back. We might need to adjust our feet to get really deep in here. And then just hold the hips down and forward. So in this deep stretch. And when you're ready, breath in, reach the arms up. And as we exhale, come into that twist. Breathe. I'm trying to keep our posture upright. Good. And one more breath in. Exhale, release the hands. Let's find our lizard pose. So heel toe the left foot to the outer edge of the mat. Come down onto elbows if possible, and let the left knee open to the side. Left knee opening to the side. You're out on the edge of your foot. And again, you can shift your hips around a little wee bit here, right, left. And so I think I talked earlier about our root chakra. If we have too much, we kind of have too much energy, and we're overly materialistic. We are more self-centered. We're worried about ourselves. If we have too little of this energy, we might feel needy. We might feel emotionally needy. We might have lower self-esteem. We might feel fearful. And so the goal would be to balance ourselves, right? Where we feel just grounded, healthy, strong, energetic. So again, notice if this pose is a grounding pose for you, if it helps you to feel that way or not. This is a great thing to be aware of. All right, let's bring the left foot flat, bring that left knee back up, come up onto your hands, and let's bring that foot back to center. And then shift your weight to the back. Start to straighten your left knee. I'm gonna bring my blocks with me. Put your hands wherever you need them to be to balance. So draw left hip back, feeling a deep stretch in that left hamstring. And then shift it forward into a lunge. And then come on back into that hamstring stretch. So pull left hip back. I like to flex my left foot as well when I'm in this pose. Try not to let the hips sort of face to the right. That's why I'm saying pull your left leg back, your left hip back. All right, let's bend the front knee and start to inch your toes forward, your front toes forward. Maybe slide your heel, lots of weight in your hands or fists. And we're gonna let our heel slide forward and see if we can root down. It doesn't matter what we look like here, right? It's just getting a nice deep stretch in through the pelvis, the inner thighs. All right, one more breath in. Let's get ourselves out of this now. So weight in your hands. You can put like a lot of weight in your hands and just drag your left foot, your front foot, back to hands and knees. All right, and from here we lift into downward facing dog. Sink your chest. Use downward dog as a little bit of a recovery pose, as a rebalancing pose. Hips high, sink your chest and breathe. Let's step or jump the feet forward. We'll get into some flows now. We'll do our sun salutation B. So inhale to chair pose. Exhale into forward fold. Take a breath in, come to half lift. And as we exhale, hands on the mat and step the right foot back. Exhale the left foot back to plank. Inhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, back to down dog. Good, let's step the right foot forward. Left foot angles out. Warrior one here, take a breath in. And as we exhale, bend the front knee. Good, inhale, come on back up. And exhale, hands on the mat. And step back to plank. Back to plank. Lower down to the mat. Then we're going to inhale cobra or up dog again, and then find your way to downward dog on the exhale. Good. Step left foot forward. We're going to get ready for warrior one on the other side here. Inhale. Exhale to cactus arms and bend the knees. Inhale it back up again. Exhale, put the hands on the mat, step back to plank. Nice. Down we go. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Back to down dog. Beautiful. Step or jump the feet forward to forward fold. And we're going to inhale to half lift. And then exhale, soften the knees to forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And then just exhale the hands forward. Let's try that again. So inhale to chair pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, come to that half lift again where we activate the backs of the legs. And then exhale back down to fold and step the left foot back. Inhale, right foot back to plank. Exhale, lower down to the mat. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog. Nice, left leg lifted behind. This is our three-legged dog, left leg lifting. Bring the leg down, step it right through. Inhale to warrior one. Exhale, come on back down, find plank. Oh, exhale, down to the mat. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And downward dog. Inhale, lift the right leg behind us, three-legged dog. Exhale, swoop it down. Step it forward. We're going to inhale to warrior one. Exhale, back down. Step it back to plank. Down we go to the mat. Inhale, cobra or up dog. And downward facing dog. Woo! Step or jump the feet forward. Inhale to that half lift. Exhale, soften. Nice. Inhale, come all the way up. And just bring your hands to heart center, standing in Tadasana. Let's catch our breath. So find a drishti, a focal point that you can look at. Maybe it's the wall, maybe it's like a piece of furniture. Right, release the hands. I'm just going to turn so I'm facing the camera here. Let's find our tree pose. Tree pose. Breathe. So if you were here last week, you will recall we did the splits last week, but I think I only did one side. So thankfully today we did both sides. I thought of that the next morning when I was in the shower. I was like, I think I forgot to do some of the poses of yesterday on the other side. Let's separate the hands and lift the elbows up. Let's bring our palms together above our head. Good, just doing some different arm poses here in tree pose. Separate the hands, relax your fingertips, maybe wiggle them around, relax your palms. So let's change the feet now. So the foot that's up, probably your right, it's my left. If I'm doing mirror image. And we're gonna cross it over the other leg. Find our standing pigeon. We can bring our hands back down. Standing pigeon pose. So ankle is on knee. We have a deep bend in that supporting leg. Pushing down into the mat. Breathe. Good, let's release. Let's pick up the big toe. Find our big toe hold. Now with big toe hold, we can have the knee bent just like this, or we can work on extending the knee. Balance. You'll notice this other arm that I have here, it's kind of going all over the place to kind of help me balance, right? However we need to find our balance, let's do it. All right, let's release, shake it out, and we will do that on the other side. So find your tree pose on the other side. Use your breath to help you balance. Separating the hands till they're a little bit more than shoulder width apart. And then just lift the elbows up above your shoulder. Bring your palms together. So connect your hands. Feel your palms, your fingers and your thumbs touching together. And then just separate your hand into a V, relax your fingers, just having a look at everybody. Well, I can't really see some of you, but that's okay. Oh, thank you. All right, everyone, let's start to come into our standing pigeon. So cross your ankle over your knee and start to bend on that supporting knee. And as you do so, we can bring our hands back to Anjali Mudra. Breathe. Keep your balance. And can we come out of this into big toe hold? So again, just now extend up through that supporting leg. Keep your knee bent, the one that's up, or work on extending it. It's up to you. Take a couple more breaths. And then release. Let's give those legs a shake. Awesome. All right, let's take a wide stance on our mat, everyone. Point your toes to the outer corners of the mat. We're going to get into this wide sumo squat here. So as we bend our knees, make sure your knees are staying nice and wide as well. Okay, so we want to be able to look down and see our toes when we're in this sumo squat. Okay, so if we come up, our knees are still wide. When we go down, they're going to go wide. So take a breath in, lift, and then as we exhale, come into your cactus arms and your sumo squat. Do that again. Inhale, lift. This is a little breathing interlude here. Exhale. Inhale, lift. Make the arms big. Exhale, go as deep as you want with that squat. Inhale. And exhale. Kind of reset the breathing. Connect the breath with the movement. Exhale. Good, one more. And we're gonna hold the sumo squat. Instead of having cactus arms, let's turn the palms up and extend the arms out to the side. This is our sun pose. So we're taking up lots of space, legs working. Try not to let the butt swoop out to the back. Think about squeezing your glutes and kind of activating your inner thighs a little bit here. Keep the knees wide and not too much of a C curve in that lower spine. Go a bit lower. 3 breaths, hold, knees are wide. Good, 2 more breaths. And 1 more breath in. Let's release the arms. Come on up out of that squat. You can bring your feet a little bit closer together. And we're gonna come down into a crouch. So again, the knees are gonna be wide. Knees wide, place your elbows on the inside of your thighs. And again, just sink your hips down here. So try to think about relaxing your body down. Your feet are touching the mat. It's really our only connection point. But we can feel very grounded. We're close to the ground here. Breathe. Shift to the left. Shift to the right. Just move your hips around a little bit, but relax them down, tailbone towards the floor. Right, let's release the hands. And we're gonna come to seated on our mat, nothing graceful here. Let's get to a seated position on your mat. And we're actually gonna lie down on our mat and get back to bridge pose here. We did this at the beginning. So place that block between your knees and your inner thighs. And let's kind of pick up where we left off at the beginning. So take a breath in, lift the hips up, maybe about halfway, but we'll keep the hips up. So squeeze the block. Now the other thing that's associated with our different chakras is colors. The color of the root chakra is red. So if you think about the color red, does it shift your energy at all? Does it evoke any feelings for you? Breathe lots. Can you lift the hips a little higher? Squeeze the glutes even more. Squeeze the block. Right up on the shoulders, the upper back, but no pressure in the neck. And we're going to take one more breath in here, lifting the hips as high as we can. And then as we exhale, come back down. Option to do wheel pose today. If you do not like wheel pose, then you can just do bridge pose again. So wheel pose, we're going to walk our feet in. Our heels are close to our glutes. Place the hands below the shoulders with the fingers facing down the body. This would be like a half wheel where you're on the crown of your head. But if you can extend your elbows, you can come right up into wheel pose. Breathe. Bridge is fine. 3 more breaths here, whichever option you like. 2 more. Good, 1 more breath in. Exhale, let's come down out of this. Ease back down. Knees to chest. Time to do our yoga cool down now. Right now it's knees to chest, and we're rocking right, left, pressing low back into the mat. Nice. Let's put the feet down on the ground. And if we happen to have our rolled up towel or blanket, what we can do with it is just place it underneath our knees as we extend our legs and move into Shavasana. It's a little bit of a support under the knees. Sometimes that feels good. You can use your blanket to put on top of you if you like as well. Just get comfy for ending Shavasana. Have your arms by your sides, palms up, fingertips softly curled. And we're going to close our eyes and once again, really settle into ourselves. So really check in with ourselves. Notice our breath. And finding that deep, slow breath again. I'm going to change the music. Something a little more mellow for us, for the ending relaxation. Make whatever adjustments you need to so that you can remain perfectly still for this ending part of class, then you won't have to fidget. Breathe slowly and deeply through your nose. So inhale and exhale through your nose. And as we keep with this nostril breath, let's do a little bit of an exercise where we tense our muscles and then we relax them completely. So start with your hands. Let's make a fist with our hands. Squeeze as tight as you can, and then open and relax. Okay, let's do feet this time. Scrunch up your feet, scrunch your toes, put a lot of energy into your feet, and then relax. Notice how that goes into your arms and your legs as well when we do that. So can we tense up our legs now? All of our legs, so our feet, our legs. See if you can squeeze your glutes, your quads. Keep squeezing and then relax. Let everything melt. Breathe deeply. Notice how many connection points there are in Shavasana. Shavasana is a very grounding pose. So let's enjoy it. And I like to sometimes use affirmations that we can think to ourselves. I'm going to read you a couple that have to do with our root chakra energy. I recognize the abundance of love, trust, and care surrounding me. I recognize the abundance of love, trust, and care surrounding me. So too often we focus on what we're lacking. But if we can shift our focus to recognize abundance in our lives, this is very fulfilling and balancing to our energy, our emotional energy. So again, I recognize the abundance of love, trust, and care surrounding me. I am connected to the universe and know the security of being grounded in reality in the moment. I am connected to the universe and know the security of being grounded in reality in the moment. I am taking responsibility for my life. I can cope with any situation. I am taking responsibility for my life. I can cope with any situation. I recognize the abundance of love, trust, and care surrounding me. I am taking responsibility for my life, and I can cope with any situation. Just take a big breath in now, a very deep breath where your belly sort of balloons out and your chest rises. And then as you exhale, exhale through the mouth and do a sigh. So it's like, ah. So make a little sound. You guys are all on mute, so no one's going to hear you. Do that again. Big deep breath in. And bend our knees one at a time. Feet on the floor. Take your arms out in front of you or overhead. Move your body around, maybe move your knees side to side. And let's now draw knees right into chest. So once again, our knees to chest pose. Raise your head and your shoulders round your spine and rock and roll your way up to seated on your mat. So just come to a comfortable seated position. Place your hands in the Anjali Mudra at heart center. Bow your head, close your eyes. And as we go forward today, let's remember that we want to feel grounded. And let's take every opportunity that we can to experience that nice balanced strength of groundedness. Open your eyes up, raise your head, and take a bow. Namaste. Have a wonderful Sunday, everybody. I'm just going to come closer to the camera, shut the recording off, but I will stay on